Hi, everyone. Welcome to our live call today. We're going to talk about how to grow your business and your agent relationship with realtors. So if this sounds good, let's get started.
All right, so we got listings to leads up. I put a link into the chat, so if you want to log in and you got questions, let us know. We're logged into Ye's account, and there's a couple things. First, you talk about the new email that we just dropped. It's real quickly. I'll just mention it's on the dashboard. So if you scroll down a little bit, it's under the section here called Database Email Blast. All the agents in your account have them for their seller leads. They have them for their buyer leads. They can send them through listings to leads, or they can send them from their own CRM. And for the lenders, it's a different one. Just go ahead and click on the subject line and you'll see it here. So yeah, Yi, why don't you just go ahead and talk about this real quickly?
Okay, I apologize. Yeah, so I just did this quick email for you to send to your buyer database. So basically, we have the pending home sales just got reported by NAR today. So we want to get this information to your database ASAP. So the January sales was down by 0.8%. But there's one more thing I added because one of the chief economics from NAR, Mr. Yuan, specifically said 5.5 million households will actually qualify, okay, based on current rate compared to a year ago. So that was a huge piece of information. If you think about it, even just a fraction of that 5.5 million people, essentially the potential buyers go into the market, that's going to drive the price up. So we want to motivate the people who are on the sidelines. So I add this little piece of information into the email. One more thing also for people who are thinking of not only refreshing their numbers, but also, who've done like overtime tips, or those people who would be influenced by the tax laws, they will have extra take-home pay, and these people will probably need somebody to give them a fresh look on their income. So all this were in there, and take a look at that email. I think it'll be pretty cool to send to your buyer leads.
Yeah, definitely right. And so you can send it through listings to leads. You can copy it and send it through another program. So we're going to send it to your leads right now. But first, real quickly here, if I click on the preview, all right, so it's got your listings to lead signature. It's got a link to your landing page. And this is true for all of you. So for all the lenders that have an account with us, I would just, if you want to send it through a different program, you may have your leads somewhere else. Just copy it. And then I will open up a new tab and we'll pretend this could be follow-up boss. This could be whatever. So I'll just, for now, I'll just put new email. Of course, I'll change the subject line and check this out. If I just paste it in there, boom, I'm good to go. And if I want to edit it, no problem. Edit it a little bit. All right. Everything's going to work. All the links are good to go. And then just send it through whatever CRM or whatever email program you want. And then if you got leads like Yi does in listings to leads, we're just going to go over here to the right and we'll just send it to everybody. It's good, it doesn't hurt if a few of us, he's only got a couple of seller leads, and, it's good for them to hear that, hey, it's great for buyers. So we could schedule it for later, but we're going to send it now. Boom. All right. Well, we got that email out the door. Let's take a look at your ads, because the ad this time is kind of within okay range. Let me click on view ad. So it's coming in at $592 this is for down payment assistance. Let's take a look at it and then let's talk about it. So $592 is not bad, but we've done a lot better in the past. And so we may stop this and rerun it and see if we can't get better. If I click show ad, if anybody wants this link, just let us know and I can send it to you. So here's the ad. It's a video ad. She's in the car just talking about rates. All right. So great ad. And we've been running variations of this ad for months, right? And you can see here all the way back in November, 418 a lead, 444 a lead, right? That kind of popped up to 855. And so I did the exact same thing I'm thinking about now. I ended the ad. All right. So I spent $34. I'm like, you know what? Nah, that's no good. I reran it. We got back to 526, 434. Right. Kind of stayed again, 954. I ended it right away and had the best performance at 357. And now I'm at 592. So I'm kind of on the bubble, right? If it hits 6, I'm for sure gonna just stop. And this is good for everyone to understand, because when you've got an ad and it's not performing as well as you think it should, first of all, make sure that you're reasonable. All right. $2 leads aren't going to happen, but having generated leads in the past sub 5, I would rather be kind of in the 4 something or low 5s to be happy with this. And so, you know what? Let's just do it right now. Let's just turn it off. In fact, one more thing here because I want to show people. I want to show people the questions, because this is really important. And you've really seen a difference with lead follow-up. And so when they click on the ad, let me show you, I'm going to scroll back down. So let's click the ad like a lead would, right? Learn more. So we're getting, what is your time frame to buy? What's the maximum monthly payment you're comfortable with? All right. So here they can select, how would you describe your credit? And you're getting leads that are saying all sorts of things. It goes all the way from, $3,000 a month to great credit to $2,000 a month and fair credit or bad credit. So it's really all over the map, right?
Yeah. But it just gives you a really good foundation when you have conversations. Makes it a little bit more engaging, and especially the first conversation makes it go further, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can drill down a little bit more. Okay, so you mentioned that you only are comfortable paying 2,000. Why is that? Okay, because
Well, yeah,
otherwise the conversation
the
sort of
more
stop.
information you have, the better.
What? We say that again?
I say the more good information that you can
Yeah,
collect, then in your follow up and you're having a conversation, you can kind of start leading into that and find out more about what's going on. Like you said, why, is it that your current rent is 2,000? Are you looking at tax benefits? Are you looking at some of these proposals or things that are going to be coming up this year, like you just mentioned, with tips and overtime and things like that, that might be appropriate to factor in that they may not be right now. And and the credit, you can again dig into that, because now it may not be exact, but now you got a conversation point to start with.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, and we got 20 different questions that you can actually ask. So yeah, let's go back to what I'm going to do is I'm going to go create Facebook ad landing page. So this was down payment assistance. So down payment assistance, it's going to be a lead ad, create an ad. We're going to change the text and we're going to change the image to a video. So first thing I'm going to do is type in location, Roseville, California. All right, lifetime budget. I always start with 100 for a week, and then I work my way up once I see that the budget is good. I'm going to change image video. We got a video that she's already uploaded. So I'm going to go to my files and video. And there's the video. And oops, that's all right. I think we'll be fine. While that is processing, I'm going to come back here. I'm just going to copy and paste this text. I don't want to. Oh, that's weird. I'm missing the I. Maybe that's why it's not doing so great. Well, let's make sure we fix that. So I'm going to delete everything here. And then that might help out. Maybe that's why. All right. Sometimes you got to double check your stuff. And this, it's funny. I always tell this to people in webinars, right? You got to double check what you're doing, because sometimes you're busy, you're just flying around, and it looks like, let me see here. I kind of blew up my screen a little bit. Let me see if I can fix this. Give me 1 second. All right. 100. All right. So check this out. For those 3 questions that were asked before name, email, phone number, to access that, go to advanced options, and then where it says create new form, right here, questions. Just open that up. So we get name, email, and phone number. That's by default. We want to make sure that we got that. And then the other default is, what is your time frame to buy? And see if you qualify for zero down or down payment assistance. And do you have a home to sell? Now, because this is, she wanted to do something different. I think it was, how would you describe your credit score? So we turn that one off, because it's down payment assistance. They're not going to have a home to sell. So we turn that one on. And what's the max monthly payment you're comfortable with? Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Boom. And you can even reorder these if you want to. And I'm just going to make sure, I'm going to turn this one off. You only want to have 3 in addition to name, email, and phone number. So name, email, and phone number don't count for what we're doing here. So we only want to have 3 other questions live. You can do 1, you can do 2, but why not do 3? Really, all the testing and all the evaluations that I've been doing system-wide for the last 3 to 4 months, cost per lead has not gone up at all. Now, I have seen a few ads doing 4, and the cost per lead did go up quite a bit. So I would avoid doing 4 questions. Just do 3 in addition to name, email, and phone number. All right. And when you're good, just go ahead and click the green create form button. We'll close advanced options. We don't need that anymore. And back to a nice clean screen, and click create ad. And that's going to get submitted. It'll now have IVE properly with the I. I can't believe I didn't catch that before. Normally I catch that kind of stuff. So maybe, we'll find out. Maybe that's why the cost per lead wasn't so great. When you don't spell words correctly, bad things can happen.
I think.
And so there you go. Yeah, what do you got?
I think this week, we should try run an ad on new construction.
How would a lender come into new construction? Like, where would you fit in that? Because a lot of times a new construction has in-house lenders.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. You can still lend for new construction. It doesn't, and I think you add value because the 6% seller concession can be used for different things, right?
Right.
You can do rate buy downs, and and the advantage is you don't want them to use the lender, in-house lender, because there will be a conflict of interest in my perspective.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, totally. And I think those are
You're
great.
just getting leads, and these people interested in the new construction. And from a buyer perspective, I think it's great because there's so much incentives in that market. It will not be a bad idea to try.
Yeah, that could be good, because a lot of times the new construction lender, they kind of build in fees. And I know,
Yeah, exactly.
was it Lennar or somebody? I don't remember, but I feel like there was a large builder that got into a lot of trouble recently. Because, you know what I mean? Because they were like steering people into their in-house lender.
Right, and then it could
Zillow
be
had this issue recently.
it could be a temporary buy down. You have no idea, and then the rates go up in the couple of years, and they can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, I definitely think there's a play there where you can compare and contrast against a builder, right? Where we've talked about this before, where it's like, get a check up on, bogus fees, uh, you know, bad rates, right? Other things that may not be to the benefit of the home buyer, because again, they're essentially being steered into using their in-house lenders. So I think there's a great way to create an ad that will get the buyer who's thinking about new construction, and they're kind of being pushed, like, in fact, in the ad, it could almost say, you know do you want to buy new construction, but you feel like you're being pushed into using an in-house lender from the builder. Make sure you're not getting stuck with bogus fees and blah blah
Or
blah.
temporary buy downs that you can afford later.
Yeah, 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 right. I mean, to where, because that way, home buyers are always a little, as a home buyer, especially as a new home buyer, but just in general, you're always a little like, am I getting screwed? Right? Am I being, is this really the best for me? And they don't necessarily have an advocate. And come on, I mean, I don't know any of the builder lenders, so I can't speak verbatim, but these are salespeople first and
Yeah,
foremost,
that's exactly right. All they
right? They're
care about
salespeople.
selling that unit to you, so you really
Yeah,
need an
yeah,
outsider to help you and take
right.
advantage
I
of the
mean,
seller credit, right?
right. I mean, there's enough bad lenders out there. There's enough bad real estate agents out there, right? There's enough bad vendors out there. And so, if we are a reputable, good lender that is looking at, hey, you're not just a number, but eventually I want you as a referral source. And so how am I going to get you as a referral source? By doing good by you and making sure that you're happy with my work 5 years from now, not just until I get the paycheck from you. Right. And so when we do business as lenders, as mortgage brokers, and also as realtors, right, getting one transaction out of a client, that's good. But the lifetime value of a client really should be 5 to 10x minimum. And so if we don't do good by them, if we don't make sure they're in a good spot, you know, 2, 3, 4, 5 years from now, when we should be getting referrals from them or more business from them, we're going to be getting complaints. They're going to be ignoring us. We're not even going to want to reach out to them because we know they don't want to hear from us. So, yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let's take a look at that a little bit later today or tomorrow and see if we can't put, because I think you're right. I think that's a phenomenal market to consider going after.
Yeah, the existing home prices just kind of complete out of whack. The only market right now that actually have buy activities are in the new construction.
Well, yeah, especially because they got so much inventory, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah.
they got to get rid of that stuff. They got to get it off the books. They got the banks to pay. They got, if they take $100 million loss, they got investors that they can stick it to. Whereas, a single family home or a condo that's being sold by a owner, they don't have that capability. So yeah, I think that would be phenomenal. Let's take a look at that a little bit later. I'm sure we can come up with something that would be pretty cool. Maybe we could do a video, maybe do images where it's almost like we could do a carousel style ad where you show
Mm,
different new construction type homes. Normally I hate carousel, right? For normally for like down payment assistance, or when we're doing a home like this one right here. I don't like carousel because people just kind of click, 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 and they can see the home. But if we're showing new construction and showing different types of homes, then that's completely different. If you have questions on that, get into the mastermind group. We can talk more about that. But yeah, that would be kind of cool. I think we could come up with something really, and we talked before and we haven't really been able to nail it, but I still like that idea of coming up with an ad for not first time home buyers, but regular home buyers, kind of along the same lines, right? Hey, if you're looking to buy a home, maybe it's your second or third home, you're not a CPA, you're not a financial expert, right? You're not someone that does this every day. You may have a lender that is a little bit more salesy than consultative, all right? And, get a second look at the quote and the paperwork that you've got from your current lender, and let's just see if we can't not do better, but make it better for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know we tried it once and it didn't really, you know.
Yeah, I think you gotta be very careful, especially coming from the angle. Like, it's almost like a stealing. I don't know. I think we just really gotta figure out what is the messaging there.
Yeah, for sure, 100%.
Yeah.
But I definitely
I
like the new construction for sure.
yeah. Um,
Hey, so for all the
income
lenders,
analysis would be like a good way to look at it.
what
Because
would be?
it's coming more from like look at your income. You analyzing your
Mhm.
income, right?
Yeah.
From affordability perspective. Like versus just pre-approval. Like, I don't know. Just something to think about.
We can come up with some sort of handout that they
So
may
like a
want.
value add.
Right, like a affordability checklist, um, an affordability slash fees, bogus fees checklist, right? And it would be something that they could just download, right? And you'll get all their information, but they could download it and they could see like, oh yeah, because I would have to imagine most lenders, they don't really take the time to make sure that it's going to fit into their budget 5 years from now, right? Again, especially rock, but I'm not going to say any names, but a lot of these people they're just salespeople, and so all they care about is they got a quota that they need to meet every week, every month, every day, probably. And if they're not hitting those numbers, well, their first loyalty is to the boss, not to the buyer, right? And most of us, our loyalty is to the buyer.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, cool. Anything else that we should talk about, or you think we're good?
Well, what are the successful tools that real estate agents are using that lenders should push out to their realtor partners? For example, the FISBO marketing 100-point marketing plan. I mean, the expireds, the
Yeah,
listing.
actually, two things. So I'm gonna put this link because I have been really, and it wasn't really like a plan. It just kind of started maybe a month or so ago, where I'm using our blog a lot better and also our Instagram. And I'll show you that in a second here. But if you go to our blog, and I just put the link in listingsleads.com/blog, for example, $2.5 million luxury listing added on day one. And so what I'm doing is I'm taking stuff and creating blog posts around it and adding the videos as needed, other information as needed. So whether you're a lender, you're a coach, you're a broker, you're a trainer, right? And sometimes as lenders, we're a little bit of a couple of those different things, that you could take this and go and see it, digest it really quickly and go, God, yeah, this would be something great I should share with the agents in my pipeline, or the agents that I'm trying to establish relationships with to add value, because I know a lot of these agents would love to know about how this agent here, how the heck did she put a $2.5 million luxury listing into her pipeline? All right. If I scroll down right here, open houses, I'm telling you, I just did a survey of our open house people, and the average score came, quite a few people were just like 10 out of 10 for how useful listings to leads was. Most of them are getting seller leads in addition to buyer leads. And so, sharing our open house stuff with your agents, right? Because when we talk about doing open houses, it's not just about how do I market the open house to generate leads. It's how do I market the open house? How do I do the open house? How do I follow up from the open house to really create an unforgettable event and engage homeowners to the point where I'm getting listing appointments? How do I engage home buyers? Right. And we have a lot of different things in here that talk about
Mhm.
that. So it's not just doing a Facebook post and email, right? There's more to it. And I always tell agents, you're never going to learn this the first time out. All right. You're just going to get better each time you do it, to the point where now you're dialed in to where every time you do an open house, you've got a beautiful process. You know what you're doing, so you can plan it appropriately, and you're getting business from it. right? You're not just sitting there. How many times we go to open houses and the agent's just kind of sitting there twiddling the thumbs, right?
Right, a lot.
Or yeah, a lot. And it's just pathetic, right? You should, and how to select the open house, right? Which not all properties are equal. So how do we make sure that the property that we're going to be doing the open house for, whether it's our listing or a borrowed listing, how can we, ensure that we got more opportunity to get people there in the first place? All right. So there's a lot of questions there. It's not just as easy as going, finding an open house to hold open. I send an email, I do a Facebook post, throw up a yard sign, throw down some cookies from Safeway, and then wonder why I'm not getting any business. All right. It doesn't work that way. Luxury expireds. All right. Man, it's kind of similar to what I just mentioned, but this goes into a lot more detail. All right. So that the previous one about 2.5 million, that's just talking about her. It's got some great quotes from her, right? Some great ideas. But who doesn't want luxury listings? And luxury expireds are right there at the top of the list. They already want to sell. Right. And you mentioned this just a minute ago, how to generate seller leads using the 100-point home marketing plan. Taking
Right.
it from more, I'm sorry.
Well, you froze for a second there.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So, kind of what I was mentioning, you're getting to a little bit earlier. We took our blog from being more of a generalist kind of a thing to more hands on specific. And so, for
Mhm.
example, there's even like links to our Instagram where you can see examples. Right. Check this out. So, this is, what, in fact, we'll be coming out with some more stuff for the pending home sales report today. So this is from last time. Existing home sales in December up 5.1%. And it's a link. And so I do training on this at least once a week. Because what we know is if you want to get more listings, if you want to engage more of your seller leads, they need to see your 100 plus point home marketing plan from listings to leads over and over and over again. All right. And then in leveraging Instagram stories, in fact, what's so beautiful about Instagram stories? I did a training on this the other day, and people were blown away. In fact, a lot of people are using this one. Get the 2026 100-point home marketing plan for your home to get your home sold now. All right. Because I just want to give different looks, different vibes,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
people are
yeah. Different
busy
people want different
motivating.
looks. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But here, check this out. This is what gets even better. Instagram stories, and a lot of people don't realize this. Because I literally did a training yesterday. Look at the top right here. Look along the top. These are all Instagram stories. So these are not from Facebook. All the stuff, right? And do you know what's even better? Check this out. I'm going to refresh my page. They stay persistent. So they're going to keep staying here until I click them, because obviously I'm, associated with listings to leads. So this is essentially like retargeting on
Mm,
steroids. Like, this is better than retargeting, because anyone that is like associate, that's been a lead, that's clicked on an ad that they know, right? Friends and family and associates, right? Not real estate associates, but like, people at their church or whatever. They see these up here and they just stay there, right? They're not, look at this. They're not gonna, well, they go up, but every time I come back up, right, they're right there. And check this out. This is one I literally just did. So this is talking about FISBOs, okay? And they
mhm.
include links. So we can include links to the 100-point home marketing plan. We can include links to price reduced landing pages. So we can use Instagram stories as an Instagram, event. But then the beautiful thing is they go back over to Facebook, and now they're at the top of Facebook. And what I've noticed, we're getting 3 to 4 times more views and interactions on Facebook from the Instagram stories going over there. So TikTok, you still want to do. YouTube Shorts is still great, but the new feature of an Instagram story porting over, right? Going over to the top of Facebook is just absolutely the best. Here's another one I did. And so the other thing I would tell everybody is make sure you're following us on Instagram, because like this one right here, right? Talking about the golden letter strategy for pending listings. Right, check out these 3 questions that I'm getting in every seller lead. Time frame to sell. Would you sell if you got the right price in the next 1 to 3 months? And do you have a home to sell? Name, email, and phone number. $7.51 per seller lead.
That's golden. $7? Wow.
Yeah, $7.50. That's why so many people don't appreciate pending. excuse me, pending listings.
I'm
And
getting the
I
yeah,
really create these for our clients. It's also like for marketing and to get new agents to sign up. But I
right.
really do it because I feel like, hey, if I'm an agent, I don't want to be sold by these kind of stupid ads on Facebook. I just want to see it in the wild almost. And so
Mhm.
when I do these videos like this one here, again, it's as much for our clients, just like right there, you saw that. It's as much for our clients as it is for people that may not have heard of us before, or
Right, right.
maybe they have heard of us, but they don't really know too much. And I put links back to our Listings to Leads website. Of course, the agents will do, could do what is your home worth landing page, 100-point home marketing plan. I just got done with the FISBO webinar, blew people's minds. They didn't realize that a FISBO homeowner can actually add their property via the landing page. It drops in their Listings to Leads account, status draft. The agent gets the notification. They go,
Whoa.
they go in and approve it. Don't have to do anything because they get notified. They click to approve it. And you're going to see it here in a minute. And if you want to add value, if you want to convert FISBOs, this is how you do it. You don't call up a FISBO and go, "You're stupid," or "I can get more
You
money
give
for you."
them the tool, say, "This is how you market," and they realize, "Oh my god, there's a whole system there," and they get tired of it. They just want somebody
Yep,
else to do it for them.
yep,
That's how that mentality
yep.
works.
If
And
you
they
just
already, like, trusted the system because they see it.
exactly,
They
and we got
know
the
it's
yeah,
gonna get their home sold, but they don't wanna do it because it's complicated, even though it's not.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yeah. So a little bit later this afternoon, I'll be coming out with more material, more some videos, and I'll show you right now. And we'll put it in the mastermind group. So always make sure you're in our mastermind group. If you're not, email support, have them add you. But like for example, you can see here, I did this one for President's Day. Right, presidential level 100-point home marketing plan. I did this one for existing home sales. This was from last week.
Right.
And so on, on
That one.
TikTok, you just upload it, right? And if you can put a sticker, you can put text on here. Instagram Reels, same thing. But again, for Instagram Stories, I can
That one.
add a link, and then I can link right to whatever it is I want to direct people to. Like again, it could be a landing page, a property website, right? A lot of people are loving, agents are loving these ones down here where it says tap to get it now. So they put the link to their expired marketing plan. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool videos in the media library for people to use.
Yeah.
And we'll get them in there a little bit later today for the pending home sales report that just
Yeah.
came out.
Before I forget, can I say something else? I think don't we have a affiliate link? So
For women? Yeah,
if you have agents sign up on your affiliate link, you get paid, right?
yeah.
In the lender account.
Well, lenders actually, we've actually had more and more lenders signing up via another lender's affiliate link.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, if I click copy link and I just post it in there, so they get a 45-day free trial of Listings to Leads, and you get, I think, is it 15%? Let me see. I think it tells you right there. Get 15%, 10%. So lenders get 10% recurring. So every time, and a lender can refer a broker, they can refer an agent, they can refer another lender, like I mentioned. And so whatever it is, when they pay us, you get paid. So 10% for lender, one time for the broker or office or team, and that would be equal to their monthly billing. And then if an agent signs up on your affiliate link, then they get 15%. Because you know why we did that, because lenders, a lot of lenders like to do lunch and learns, and or they go to an office, and it's not a bad thing, but I get agents on a regular basis going, "Hey, I'm in a lender account, but I really don't want to be co-branded. Can I just get my own account?" All right. And so you can still get credit for that, right? And you work with agents that are not in your account, right?
Right.
Like you run ads for their listings, you partner with them, but they're not in your listings to leads account. They can be, some are, but some
No, they
won't
have
don't
their
won't
own
want to be.
accounts. Yeah.
Yeah, they want their own account. Doesn't mean you still can't partner with them and do things with them and get money. So, if an agent were to sign up, were to scan that QR code, and they sign up, they get 30 days or 21 days as an agent, I believe, which is still more than going to our website. So the lender wins, the agent wins, just win, win, win. It's a triple win. All right. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've noticed definitely more lenders are using those for other lenders to sign up, which is awesome. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Did we miss anything? Not sure.
Oh, that's so funny. So, I was doing that FISBO webinar today, and this woman, because I go through and I was adding a FISBO seller to my account,
Uh-huh.
and there was this woman, her name was Sherry, CHE''RE.
Mm-hmm.
And so I use her as my seller example, and she just signed up for an account. And I always assumed that she was a client, because she comes onto our webinars every so often, and she
Oh,
just
that's funny.
yeah, and it's funny because she's in Fort Myers, and I
Oh, yeah,
assumed
yeah,
she
Florida.
was with Realty One, because we got that
Mm-hmm.
large Derek Carlson, who's actually he's pretty Derek Carlson's pretty big on social media.
Right,
He's really big into a lot of stuff, and so
right.
uh yeah, he's got a pretty massive phone. So anyway, I assumed she was with his office, but she's not. She's with LPT.
Oh, funny.
So that's kind of funny.
Actually, I more of a maybe idea, like
Mhm.
how the lenders can help realtors order booklets if they want to.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we
You know,
go
something to
to
think about.
yeah, so if
Because
you are a
I
lender,
constantly think about if you're a lender, there's a million other lenders that want to work with certain realtors. How do you stand out, right? You want to give them a little something for them to remember or to get more business. Uh,
yeah. If I type, let me just type in order. Oh, you know what? It's actually, hold on. Let me go to, if I just go to listings, I wonder if
but
it's
they
in the
gotta
link.
have like expires or whatever in the system in order to do it, right?
Yeah, let me log into my agent account, and then you'll see. So if I log into my agent account, if you go to, if you're a lender, you can just log into any agent account to see this. List expires, FISBOs, settle leads faster and easier. And what Ye is referring to is, these right here. So, for example, that $2.5 million luxury listing, that was done because the agent door knocked and had this with her and was able to show the homeowner her 100 plus point home marketing plan. It's a 26-page magazine quality presentation, fully branded to the agent on every page, including the back. We got versions for expired, versions for uh, standard, which are just your general seller leads, canceled, and then FISBO. Um, so much success. We had one client. We had a client. She door knocked with this and the had a conversation with the homeowner. Homeowner invited her in, tour the property, sign the listing agreement. That right there had the now. That's why I always tell people: if you go door knocking, make sure you take your listing agreement with you, because don't be surprised. Here's the thing: why are these so important? Why are they so important? Because when, especially for an expired listing, but for any seller lead, they have been told that everyone is so different, right? Oh, I'm better, I'm the top, I'm this, I'm that, but nobody shows them anything. Now, there are quite a few things if you go through Facebook where, I can buy this Canva link, or, whether it's Lopo has one or whatever. They are more focused on the agent than they are the
On
process,
the seller,
on the
yes, on
seller.
the
Yeah,
listing itself.
on the
That
listing
is
itself.
so true.
Because here's
Yeah.
the deal: I don't care about you as a seller to an agent. I don't care. I don't care you're number one or number two or number five. I don't care how many offices you have. I don't care how many agents are in your company.
Yeah, how
I
do you
don't
help me?
care. What I care is, what are you going to do to get my home sold?
Exactly.
Why am I
Mhm.
paying you 2.5 to 3%? And how are you different from every other agent that tells me they're different from every other agent? All right. And if you're going to just show me some beautiful, glossy, photo of yourself sitting there like this, right? You've lost me. You've lost it. If
Y
you walk through with this, you're going to get homeowners even asking you, where do we sign? Because it answers the question. And it's interactive, which is even cooler. When the agents use this, uh, whether it's in a listing presentation or expired or FISBO, or they door knock with it or they mail it, and we do a lot of training and all of it. Um, they get the listings so much faster, so much easier. Oh, I meant to click. Sorry about that. I meant to click here. And then, because we create these for specific properties as well. So you can see here the complete marketing plan to get your home sold, prepared for Franklin Jones at 8567 Gold Lane. That's Franklin Jones's home on every image throughout the presentation. This link is clickable to Franklin Jones's home, and he can actually see his property website with the domain 8567goldlane.worldsbestlisting.com, which is amazing. Then the agents will have the homeowner scan the QR code during the presentation. And I'm telling you, there's nothing like the homeowner having their home on the phone. I mean, you could get the listing agreement signed right there most of the time. Right? All branded, agents' colors, fonts, logos, pictures, all the way throughout. Right? Even the agent website. I'm sorry, the agent client review website from Listings to Leads. So all the agents' client reviews from Google, from Zillow, from Testimonial Tree, and from anywhere else that they want to add, right, will show up right here. So it just gives a lot of credibility to the agent there as well. They can download some of the guides, right? 12 mistakes, 5 dangers of overpricing, first time seller's guide. So we're adding value as part of the process. So it's just so much amazing stuff right there. So yeah, as you was kind of mentioning, if you want to kind of seed it up a little bit, right, you can order some and have them for the agent. But I think if you were just to show this to the agent, you'll go a long way in their eyes. Because agents, I still remember when I was a new agent going on a listing presentation. Oh my God, preparing. What am I going to say? What do I show? And the last thing I'll mention about this is I've had several people in the last few weeks tell me they have, because we got voicemail, we got call scripts, we got text scripts, we got email scripts, we got door knocking and mailing kind of packaged, what that should look like. So we got all of this dialed in.
Yeah, they
I've had
have
a
like
couple of people.
really
Yeah, and I've had a couple of people tell me that they have taken listings from other agents. So nothing was signed, but where the homeowner had already interviewed an agent, was planning to go with that agent, they got a text, they got an email, they got something in the mail from one of our agents, you know, either having a link or having the printed version of this, and they got a call and they got the listing. So, hands down, one of the best, if not the best in the industry. And they only take 3 minutes to create. You add a photo of the property, add the name, an address, add that's kind of it. And then you click boom. It takes about a minute and a half to generate the flip book and the PDF. You're off and running. Yeah, it's pretty slick, pretty crazy. All
Yeah,
right.
it just adds so much confidence to a new agent for sure.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, we had that one woman who was in the National Guard up in Alaska, retired National Guard, like 20 years. Her daughter lives in Florida. So she decides from Alaska to Florida, she moves, decides she wants to get into real estate. All right. And her mentor tells her about listings to leads, signs up for listings to leads, has a listing appointment the very next day. Now, she has not been a licensed agent for more than about a month, may not even been a month. And she's got less than 24 hours with a new program to figure it out. Well, she adds the listing as status listing presentation. She goes off. I think she put it in a $2 folder, right? I mean, because she's rushing around and everything. And she had the seller halfway through just go, listen, I get it. Just where do I sign? Where do I sign? Right? Because the other thing that people love about this is, and I've heard this from agents, I never would have thought about it, but from agents is it just shows that I'm really organized. Sellers love the idea that I got this process, it's organized, it's not guesswork, it's not papers here, 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 and here, that it's just all part of one plan that they can really identify with and really, kind of sink their teeth into.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right, I'm good to go. Anything else that you want to share, mention?
No, I think we're good. I'm glad you mentioned all this stuff because you
Yeah.
will constantly think about how you can differentiate yourself from other lenders. You know.
Well, yeah, and facilitating the agent doing better. So,
Yeah,
get
that's
them,
really it. So
like I
the
said,
agent remember you versus other people. So
well, and I tell this to brokers all the time. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself. All right. And remind the agents of like, hey, are you doing the expired stuff with listings to leads? Because I know a lot of people are having great success with that, very quickly. Are you doing the FISBO stuff with listings to leads? Are you doing open houses with listings to leads? Because I tell this, the most successful brokers, right? So we have a lot of broker clients. The most successful brokers are not the ones that do the most training or do the most work. They're the ones that remind their agents and mention it and bring it up the most. So at sales meetings or whatever, they share success. They're in the mastermind group and they see someone or something is said and they go let their agents know, hey, you know what? An agent just used listings to leads and got a $2.5 million listing into her pipeline, right? The first day out with the expired strategy, you know. So I don't expect the broker to do the training. That's what we do, right? But the broker needs to at least be able to, right, be a leader. And part of being a leader is, setting your people up for success. And, people get a lot of things on their mind. They're running around all over the place. They're worried about things. And so for you to just bring it up, drop something from the mastermind group to them, it can really help kind of refocus them and really appreciate you for bringing it back to the forefront of their minds. So yeah, don't ever hesitate to, just call up an agent, just be like, hey, I was just in the listing to leads mastermind group. I saw this, post about a $2.5 million luxury listing, and I thought about you. Do you mind if I, I'll send you the link to it here in a little bit. You can take a look at it. Right? That's value. That's a lot of value right there. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Let's
Okay.
get out of here. Anybody has anything, let us know. Get into the mastermind group, and we'll talk to you soon.
Have a great rest of the week.
All right, everybody.